So it's currently 5:45-ish and I've just come in from doing the horses, put them to bed, rugged them up and everything, and it's raining out, so they've got their rugs on and they're fine for the rest of the night. I don't have to go back out. But I've just come up into bed, and probably one thing you've noticed is that I spend a lot of time in bed and I don't get dressed. I wear pyjamas all the time, and there is a reason for that. Number one, I don't go anywhere, there's no point getting dressed. Number two, I have a lot of nerve issues in my legs and hands and things like that, so wearing tight clothing just hurts and it's unnecessary, and I don't need to because I'm just around my family, so I just change my pyjamas and that is literally it. That's all I do. And that's where I wear my U-hip skirt to keep my pyjamas clean so I can get back into bed without a problem. And I feel like crap, honestly. I was an hour late for my painkiller, so I meant to take it at 4:30 when I wake up and before I go up to the horses, but I completely forgot and I was an hour late, so I took it about 5:30 and I feel like crap, so that's fun. I am really hot, I feel drained and I'm in pain, so yay. So my mum's about to bring me dinner. It's burgers tonight, what fun. So that'll make me feel sick later, but at least it's something. Chip. No chip. My chip. What'd you say? What'd you say? Boring, Kaisi. I'm taking my second and final long release pill of the day, and I take this at 6 o'clock, and that's meant to last 12 hours, but it honestly doesn't. But that's my main drug of the day.
Hey, Susan. Hey, Susan.
So after dinner I always have something sweet and some fruit, and today I've got a plum cut up and I'm with my kitty cat. This is Kaiser the Bengal, who you saw earlier. He's sitting with me because I got my heated blanket on under my bed, and then that's the rabbit over there having a snooze. That's Oreo, or Bibbles as he's more likely known. Okay, so you're all probably wondering what disability I actually have, and I haven't actually really gone into detail on here yet. I've spoken about it a few times on my routine videos and on my stable tour, but I've never full on said what I have. So my diagnosis is kind of really confusing because I don't have a concrete one. I just have like 10 different symptoms merged into one that caused me to be disabled. So it basically started when I was 13. I was diagnosed with scoliosis at a school medical at secondary school, and basically what it means is my spine grew in an S shape instead of straight, and I had a double major curve, and it was pretty dramatic when it was found, and I had no back pain before then, so that's why it wasn't found. But basically my top one, so in the rib cage, goes like that in a C shape, and then when it hits here to go to my stomach, the lower lumbar end, it goes into my stomach, so forward. So in scans you can't really see it as badly as it is unless I'm on my side, so they don't show that much how dramatic it is. So the top one was about 37 degrees and the bottom was 42, I think. And I had surgery to correct the bottom curve, but I couldn't correct the top one because of it would just mess up a whole load of other things. It was just a difficult surgery to have because they smashed through your ribs, and I was just not feeling it at that age. So I kind of had it found, thought, cool, I'll have surgery, it won't be that bad, we'll move on and I'll become a normal child again. No, 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 no. It doesn't happen like that in my world. I'm probably the most unlucky human around when it comes to scoliosis. So I had the surgery, it's a spinal fusion. I'm not going to go into great detail about it because I have written about it on blog, so again, more links below if you want to go into detail on that. but it's a pretty horrible surgery. Like, you have spinal surgery, it's not fun. And I had to learn to walk again, they catheterize you for days, you can't move. It's just not nice, especially when you're 13, 14 years old, it's horrible. So I went through that, finally recovered, kind of okay for about a year, maybe just under a year, riding again, doing well, did my GCSEs, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden I started basically suffocating at school. So it ended up being that my body was rejecting the rods in my back. I had 8-inch titanium steel rods holding my spine together. So I am like in 0.1% of people that get that, I think it was. It's very, very rare for your body to reject medical titanium rods. Like, it just doesn't happen. They use it in your arms, when you break them, like everywhere. Everyone has them when you have surgery, but my body didn't like them. So what I was going through was basically anaphylactic shock. My body was acting like it was allergic to them, so I was suffocating, my throat was closing up and I was itchy and it was just horrible. So I had them taken out basically a year after the first surgery. And you think, oh, they're just going to take the rods out, be a little surgery. No, more horrible surgery to recover from. So those were my 2 major spinal surgeries, and I think I did pretty well after that. Again, for probably just under a year again, riding, had my own horses, moved on from them, went to college, did pretty well. I tried to go to Spa College, they were really ableist, and I won't go into that, that's a whole other story. So I came back home again from Winchester to Hertfordshire. And yeah, I did pretty well. I was producing horses, I worked for a Connemara dealer and I rode all the ponies, doing pretty well. And then I just started ending up in more and more pain. And then one day when I was 16, I came off my moped. I used to drive a really cute like Vespa lookalike retro motorbike thingy. And it only went maximum of 30 miles an hour because you can't go any faster when you're only 16. But yeah, it slid off around a roundabout, ended up under a car behind me, and it just kick-started so much more shit with my back, basically. And this is where it starts to get really complicated, so I'm not going to go into like the order it happened, but I basically since then have been diagnosed with degenerative disc disease. So all the discs in my neck have crumbled and fallen on each other in some sort of way, and that's why I get a shit ton of neck pain. I still have my upper curve in my ribcage and I get the most terrible pains with that. And then I still have my lower back pain from that surgery, but I also have a disc at L5S1 that is just fucked up. It's just terrible. I have a bone spur at that level. And I also have a really, really rare cyst on my spinal cord, very, very low down. And I think that's what's causing all my bladder problems, but no one knows anything about it. It's so rare. And I'm not going to name it because I can't even say it. It's too long. I'll name it here. But the only expert on that is in America, so we haven't kind of gone into that yet. That's a whole other ball game for that. It can't be removed because it's on my spinal cord and it will paralyze me if we do try and take it off. So it is, with all these issues, I have a lot of damaged nerves. My spinal cord is being crushed by like multiple discs. The cyst is on my spinal cord literally, so that is at the level where your legs get controlled, and I've had hundreds of treatments for it, all sorts of injections to try and control the pain. Doesn't do anything. So I've also have something called chronic regional pain syndrome, and this is known as the most painful syndrome on earth basically, and it's when your nerves react to pain. It's a real thing, like it's from the brain, it's a neurological disorder, and my nerves react to like the slightest touch as burning hot pokers. Like, it will overreact to everything. It's not like, oh, I have chronic pain syndrome. It's not false pain. It is a neurological syndrome where my brain correlates everything as being wrong, and no one knows why you have it, but it's just trauma caused probably from all my previous surgeries and damaged nerves. So I'm in a lot of pain basically. I live every day of my life in pain. I have flare-ups where I'm so bad I end up in hospital, and I'm on a shit ton of drugs, and I have been since I was 14 years old, and it's not fun. My life is not necessarily that fun. I had to give up riding, which was my entire life. It kind of has completely thrown my life off course. I don't really know what I'm doing right now. The minis are a whole new venture that is kind of pulling me back together a little bit after I lost my Super Dave when I had to sell him, and that was devastating because I had him for 5 years and I produced him myself. So I now have the girls in. That's why I had them in the garden, because I can't cope being on an actual livery yard. I hate being around other people. I have really bad social anxiety, depression, PTSD, like you can list it all. I don't like being around people, which is why they're in my garden. And I'm doing a little bit better, like mental health wise. I'm definitely happier with them being at home and not having to deal with delivery yard people because they scare the shit out of me, completely honestly. But yeah, I'm a little bit happier. But mini horses don't cure disabilities. A lot of people think, oh, you look happy, you must be okay. No, not true. I still have every disability I've ever had. In fact, it's actually getting worse, and it does get worse. It's the sort of thing that will get worse till there's magically some cure that's found. But yeah, so I still have my disabilities, if you have wondered. Mini horses have just made my mental health better. They keep me distracted. They give me physio, so I walk out with them for little walks a day, maybe 5 minutes. I just potter around the garden with them, basically. I don't do much, as you'll see from this video. I still spend probably 80% of my day in bed. Like, that's what I do, and this has been my routine for 5 years now. Even with Dave and everything like that, I still went to ride him, came back 2 hours later, and I'd be back in bed. Like, this is all I do. I have to sleep during the day. I can't go out properly. Like, it's not fun, but it's my life, and I'm kind of used to it now. But I'm hoping with the minis to start doing therapy work with them and visiting care homes, hospital, get insured for all that, and slowly expand from there, because they are fantastic therapy creatures for me, but I'd love to help other people in a similar situation to me. So that's on our next venture, but they are being trained for that as we speak. I work with them every day, and they are super confident going out. They come inside, they climb steps, like they're very, very confident little animals. So they're doing super well. Oh yeah, I also had my gallbladder taken out last year, well, probably over a year ago now. Was it May? I think it was May, yeah, May last year. And I never rode again after that, because basically what happened was your gallbladder's kind of here. They kept mistaking the pain I was in for my ribcage pain, because I get really, really bad ribcage pain still. So they were all like, yeah, we can't treat it, go home, whatever. So for 2 years of my life, I would vomit up food the minute I touched my lips, and no one kind of believed me. They kept saying you have an eating disorder. I lost like over a stone in weight. I look terrible because I'm a really small person anyway, and quite tall, so it doesn't look good on you when you lose that much weight. And eventually we went to a specialist and they scanned me, and they're like, your gallbladder's like dead. It's like full of gallstones, it's sludgy, it's rotting, it needs to come out. So a week after that scan I had it out, and that's meant to be a really like easy 2-week recovery. But for some reason with me, everything goes wrong, and I was severely allergic to the glue they use to put the wounds back together. So I had an entire allergic reaction and pain for over a month with that. So my scars are pretty nasty, but I'm not too bothered about my scars. Never got back on Dave really after that. I think I sat on him twice, and my core strength was just completely gone, and I just lost the plot with it, and I didn't want to hurt myself. I busted a stitch trying to ride him one point, so yeah, I kind of stopped after that. But my eating is getting better. I still have gastroparesis, so my stomach is technically paralysed. Not terribly, but it's still there, so I still have issues, and because I don't have a gallbladder, I can't produce enough bile all the time to break down fat, so I have to be very cautious about fatty food. It will make me throw up still because I can't digest it, and it makes my stomach hurt and I get bloated. But yeah, we're dealing with it. We're waiting to see a nutritionist, so that'll be the next step to improve that. I'll let you get back to the video now. So I wanted to show you a little bit of what I use equipment wise to make my life easier. So this is my bathroom in my room, just by my bed there. And this here is the world's best thing ever. It's a really heightened toilet seat with handles on it, and you can pull it and it does not move. And it, as you can see, it boosts the toilet up quite a lot, the height of it, because normal humans can sit on this and use their legs and core strength to pull themselves up again. I don't have any of that. I literally will sit on a random toilet in public and I will get stuck and need help being pulled off it. So at home I have this to help me. I use the handles to pull myself up, and a stool if my legs are hurting and I need to change position, blah blah blah. And then my shower is in here. Now this is the problem, I have a bath shower, so getting in and out of that is an absolute pain in the arse, and I usually have a handle in there, but it keeps falling off the walls because they're not completely flat. But I have a little stool in there, and what I do when I get in is I'll open the glass, I'll sit on the stool there and swivel my legs over the edge, and it's not great, it's really not great at all, but I have this thing where I will not shower in any of the other bathrooms in the room, even though they're walk-in showers and easier, but I just like my privacy, so that's my equipment. I take these painkillers every 4 hours, so this is just what I'm showing here, and how many I take in a day depends on how long I'm awake for. I always have to eat before I actually sleep, so my mum will bring me up the same snack every night, which again I've eaten for 5 years straight. The reason why I eat so late at night is because I'm on so many painkillers. If I have an empty stomach, it makes me really sick. So it's like literally 1:30 a.m. and I'm eating my midnight snack. Sorry I have to talk so quietly, my family are asleep, so I'm now eating an orange after my mozza cracker, and I also have a small mug of milk, and I have that every night, and that is literally just because it's the only thing I can digest quite well at night, and it seems to calm my stomach, so that's just what I do. And then after this I just watching some Chicago Med and chilling, and yeah, that's it. I actually went to bed quite early this day at 2 a.m. instead of like 3 or 4 a.m. And I just wanted to say thank you for watching, and I hope you got a little bit of an insight into what my life is like with a disability and how I cope around the ponies. But I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.